Due to the embargoes imposed on Russia, many banks around the world have imposed embargoes on Russian citizens. For this reason, the accounts in the banks of many Russian citizens were frozen or closed. This situation has caused difficulties to many Russian businessmen who want to continue their commercial life. Apart from this, even if they are not Russian citizens, the trades of many companies in relation to Russia are interrupted, because they have become unable to export or import or transfer money through banks. For this reason, many Russian business people who have difficulties are looking for various ways to solve the problem. The main problem of many of them is only banking. Some entrepreneurs establish new companies in other countries to solve this problem, while others want to open bank accounts in countries other than Russia for their existing companies. Both alternatives are possible. However, detailed research needs to be done as to which one would be the more effective solution for Russia-related banking operations. Although the solution of the problem is difficult, it is not impossible. In some cases, the relevant account is closed to SWIFT transactions. If the conditions are met, SWIFT transactions are also possible in some cases for Russia-related banking transactions. Details such as the nationality of the person whose bank account will be opened, the product he/she trades with, and the place of birth should be examined beforehand in order to solve the problem in the most accurate way. In accordance with this, various solutions can be produced for the Russian citizen who suffers from the problem. The bank account can be either by establishing a new company or through an existing company, as mentioned earlier. After the new company is established, information about the company such as the company's activity certificate, tax plate, signature circular, and the identity information of the Russian citizen are required. The owner of the company must come to the bank branch in person to open his bank account. At the same time, a Russian citizen who will open a bank account must also have a stamp for the company he has established. Some banks require a residence permit to open an account for Russian citizens, some banks do not require it. Another important requirement is that a certain amount of money must be deposited in the bank between opening an account. Additionally, the internet banking option is possible for the relevant Russian person with his own mobile phone. The other method, opening an account for a company established abroad, is one of the methods preferred by Russian businessmen who are exposed to embargo. The required documents here are also the same as previously described. But in addition to this, a potential tax number is also required. The transaction and support made here is not breaking the embargo or changing the procedures of the banks. It minimizes the problems of Russian citizens or people who have commercial relations with Russia within the current legal regulations. The task does not end with just opening an account. Because the relevant account, whether it is related to Russia or not, must be used in accordance with the legal regulations and the internal regulations of the bank. Before starting the transactions, the situation is analyzed by us and experts in their fields. As a result of this analysis, solution proposals are offered to the person who has been suffered and has commercial relations with Russia. In some cases, unfortunately, there is no solution. The fact that the person in question is on the list of prohibited persons or that the product to be traded with Russia is under strict embargo sometimes complicates the solution. Another important issue is that sometimes an account is open to a person who has relations with Russia, but customs documents must be submitted in order to use the account. If the export of the product subject to trade is prohibited and these documents cannot be obtained, the transaction is not possible even if a bank account is opened. In this video, we talked about various problems that Russian citizens have experienced in banking on a global scale today, and their possible solutions. But, most importantly, each case should be evaluated separately and appropriate solutions should be produced for each different case. Therefore, it is critically important to get professional support in this regard. For questions about your request, please contact us via email or WhatsApp.